What happened to Agamemnon? The Odyssey explained. Warning: this video contains spoilers for the Odyssey, Greek mythology, and Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. One of the greatest heroes of the Trojan War never fell on the battlefield. He survived 10 long years of fighting. He witnessed the fall of the mighty city of Troy. He returned home expecting glory, honor, and a hero's welcome. Instead, he walked into one of the greatest betrayals in Greek mythology. His name was Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae, the commander of the Greek army, and the man who led thousands of warriors to victory against Troy. But after surviving an entire war, what really happened to Agamemnon? Why was he betrayed after everything he had accomplished? Who was waiting for him when he finally returned home? And why does his tragic fate become one of the most important lessons in the Odyssey? Let's explain. To understand Agamemnon's fate, we first need to understand who he was. Agamemnon was the king of Mycenae and the brother of Menelaus, the king of Sparta. When Prince Paris of Troy took Helen away from Sparta, it was Agamemnon who united the greatest kings of Greece. Under his command, legendary heroes like Odysseus, Achilles, Ajax, Nestor, and Diomedes sailed to Troy. For 10 years, Agamemnon ruled as the supreme commander of the Greek alliance. Without his leadership, the Trojan War might never have happened. But despite his power, Agamemnon's greatest mistake happened long before the war even began. Before the Greek fleet could sail to Troy, the winds suddenly stopped. According to Greek mythology, the goddess Artemis was angry with Agamemnon. The seer Calchas revealed that the gods would not allow the fleet to leave unless Agamemnon made an unimaginable sacrifice. His own daughter, Iphigenia. Different versions of the myth tell the story differently. Some say Artemis rescued Iphigenia at the final moment. Others say Agamemnon truly sacrificed her. Regardless of which version you believe, one thing remained the same. His wife, Queen Clytemnestra, never forgave him. While Agamemnon spent 10 years fighting in Troy, Clytemnestra's grief slowly turned into hatred. During those years, another man entered her life, Aegisthus, a distant relative of Agamemnon and a longtime enemy of the house of Atreus. Together, they waited patiently for the king's return, not to celebrate his victory, but to take revenge. After Troy finally fell, Agamemnon believed the war was over. Like every soldier who survives a long conflict, he dreamed of returning home. He arrived in Mycenae believing he would once again sit upon his throne. Instead, he unknowingly walked into a carefully planned trap. Ancient Greek sources describe this moment in different ways. In Homer's The Odyssey, Agamemnon is welcomed with what appears to be a feast. During the celebration, Aegisthus attacks him, while Clytemnestra plays a central role in the betrayal. The greatest king in Greece is caught completely by surprise. He never even has the opportunity to defend himself. Another famous version appears in Aeschylus's tragedy Agamemnon. In that retelling, Clytemnestra personally carries out the revenge she had planned for years. She traps Agamemnon while he is bathing, wrapping him in heavy robes so he cannot escape. Then she strikes him repeatedly before he can fight back. She also confronts Cassandra, the Trojan princess Agamemnon brought home after the fall of Troy. Although the details differ, every ancient source agrees on one thing. Agamemnon never truly escaped the consequences of his past decisions. His greatest battle was waiting inside his own palace. One of the reasons this story is so important is because Homer uses Agamemnon as a mirror for Odysseus. Throughout the Odyssey, several characters remind Odysseus about what happened to the king of Mycenae. Every time Odysseus hears the story, he learns another lesson. Do not trust too quickly. Do not assume home is still the same. Do not believe that surviving the war means your struggles are over. That is why Odysseus returns to Ithaca in disguise. Unlike Agamemnon, he refuses to reveal himself immediately. Instead, he secretly observes the palace. He tests his servants. He watches Penelope. He studies the suitors. Only after learning who remains loyal does he finally reveal his true identity. In many ways, Agamemnon's tragedy teaches Odysseus how to survive his own homecoming. The two kings experience completely different endings because they make completely different choices. Agamemnon trusted appearances. Odysseus trusted patience. Agamemnon entered his palace openly. Odysseus entered as a beggar. Agamemnon believed the war was finished. Odysseus understood that the final battle might still be waiting at home. There is another powerful lesson hidden inside Agamemnon's story. Greek mythology often reminds us that every action carries consequences. Years before Troy fell, Agamemnon chose duty over family. He believed sacrificing Iphigenia would secure victory for Greece. In the end, that decision followed him home. The war may have ended, but the pain he caused never disappeared. His victory came at a terrible personal cost. That is why Agamemnon remains one of the greatest tragic figures in Greek mythology. He conquered the most powerful city of his age, commanded the greatest warriors in history, and achieved everlasting fame. Yet he could not escape the consequences of his own choices. His story reminds us that true victory is not measured only by battles won. It is measured by what remains after the fighting is over. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey brings renewed attention to Agamemnon's story because his fate helps explain one of the film's central themes. The greatest challenge for every hero is not winning the war, it is surviving what comes after. For Odysseus, Agamemnon's fate becomes a warning, a reminder that the journey home can be far more dangerous than the battlefield itself. So, what happened to Agamemnon? After returning home as the greatest hero of the Trojan War, he became the victim of a long planned betrayal by Queen Clytemnestra and Aegisthus. His tragic fate became one of the defining stories of Greek mythology. And for Odysseus, it served as the ultimate warning that even the greatest heroes are never truly safe until they finally find peace at home. What do you think? Was Agamemnon's fate the result of destiny? Or did his own choices lead him toward that tragic ending? And do you think Odysseus would have suffered the same fate if he had returned to Ithaca without his disguise? Share your theories in the comments. If you enjoyed this mythology breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more The Odyssey Explained videos, Greek mythology stories, Christopher Nolan movie breakdowns, hidden details, and character explanations. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.